Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's good to be here. It's exciting. This has been over a year coming. We never thought this day was going to come. It's amazing the way things are. This should have come long before now. So
Yeah,
I've got to my left, to my right. I'm actually sandwiched in the middle of two giants. So I'm glad to be in the middle of both of them. So now this is a three-way conversation. This is actually a three-way hosting, a three-way communication. We don't have a host, we don't have a guest. It's a three-man show. We're going to be talking about quite a number of things today. Most importantly, let's talk about money, the principles. Let's talk about disruptive technologies. Let's talk about the state of the market. Let's talk about how we got here. Let's talk about what here is. Let's talk about where we're going and all of this. We've got Mansford Asante there.
Coach Mo.
And I've got on my other side, that is Coach Technical Specialist Blue Investor. We call him Itai. So when they start talking graph now, I'll just go and sleep. When they start talking on Fibonacci and when it's up, and you saw some lines like, when children are scribbling on a piece of paper and you're asking them what is this, and they tell you it's Da Vinci painting, and they want to sell that scribble on the piece of paper to you for 100 million. They have come there. That is what it does, amongst other things. So I'm so glad, gentlemen, for us to be here. To me, it's a milestone, and to me, it's something that should have happened long before now. So I'm just going to yield the mic. So everybody, hi, my name is Coach Mo and Dr. Mayo Wolusabi, and my colleagues are here. So let me yield to the one who is brave enough to wear yellow shirts. So this is what you're going to get with us here. This is what we do. And then we're just going to go around, introduce ourselves, and then we're just going to start talking. There are really no set rules around this. It's just about, we have a community where there are four of us where we actually talk. And we've been doing this for, I think, 2 to 3 years now. And we found out that almost 90% of the things we talk about has actually happened in the market. So when we go back to look at our books, our script, we saw that Lord help us. A lot more people needs to be a voyeur into our discussions to be able to lend their knowledge, pick our brains, and all of that. So, like, we're going to take it away from the secret club that it was before, and we're going to now expand it. So, the Blue Investor, the floor is yours, sir. Go ahead.
thank you so much, Coach Mo. Like you said, it's been a long time coming. Fantastic. We thank God that we're finally able to actually put this together and get the ball rolling. So I'm Itai, also known as the Blue Investor, also known as the Growth Guy. Passionate about finance, financial markets in general, technology in particular, and I'm probably the least of these three giants that you see here in terms of what I'll bring to the table. But sometimes those small things can move the needle. So, but I've been in the financial market space for about 7 years now, and it's been an interesting journey. There's so much that I've learned along the way, and amongst the things I've learned as well is coming across people that you've connected with, like Coach Moore, like Mansford there, who have had the same passions and interests when it comes to what we're going to be looking at today. So without finishing it all off, I'll pass it on to Mansford as well to take some time to introduce yourself as well.
Wonderful, gentlemen. It's good to be here. And I'm really glad that we survived all the highs and the very deep lows. By the dip, we bought the dip and the dip got deeper, and all the jargons of that world and everything. Hey, we are here, we survived it. And we didn't have to sell a relative or someone we love or sell an asset or anything. Yeah, but we made it. And I think it's good to be here. Mansford Asante is my name. I'm a chartered accountant in the UK. I love IT, I love tech, and so it's been a field that, even though I work as an accountant, but I've got two of my eyes also in that area as well. I've been in the corporate world, consulted a number of government agencies in the UK, and my very, very passion is that people are empowered with the knowledge that they need to take control and take over their finances. A lot of people, it's just that they are ignorant, and so the aim of this is just to give you that information, that knowledge that you need, to build and develop and build your FI, what I call FI, financial intelligence, so that can make the right choices and right financial decision and make your family smile. So I'm looking forward to what we're going to be doing together here, gents.
Thank you so much, the two great men. It's really great to finally make this happen. We've wanted to do this for a very long time, and for some reasons, life just been lifing, and other schedule we have, other priorities, and we decided, this time around that one of us here is actually on, if you see his eyes keep going to the left, he's checking maybe he needs to jump off the phone because he's actually, he's actually, he's in a space whereby a phone call away, he will have to move. So we're not going to say more than that, but just for you to know that it's quite critical to the point whereby it's like somebody's cooking and there's food on the fire, and they're looking at the pots and the kitchen, and they are here. So if that food boils and is boiling into the fire, they're going to have to shoot. But one thing we decided, we're not going to move this date. We're not going to move this session. We're just going to start. And you know what? We're going to dive right into it. And where am I going to start from? I guess it's going to be a case of what is the genesis of all of this? How did it start? Because when you know how it starts, then you will be able to know exactly what is going on. For me, like I call him, BDM, that is Big Daddy Money or Guy Money. He's our accountant, he's our military guy, he's a military man, he serves in the British Army. We recognize that we have different skill sets, but we recognize we have the same passion. Number one, our lives are sold out to Christ. That's King Solomon said something, he said, this is the end all be all, for this is the one purpose of man. And it's all about God. So for us, that is the foundation of everything we do. And then when we now look at the marketplace in terms of the passion we have, is the same. We're passionate about knowledge. We are coaches. We financial freedom is very important and all of that. So, but we know that there are some things that we're very, very good at in different strengths. So we put our strengths together. Like right now, to my right, the blue investor, anything technical analysis, you can look at the charts now, and it will tell you that the candle will be going this direction. Or
what is the candle anyway? I don't know how it does all of those.
Same candle. Can you share on the screen? Let people see what we're let me just, I want to see that you can understand what we're talking about. If you can just share your screen with those, you were showing me some candle moments ago.
Okay. Let's go to the Big Daddy Bitcoin. I'll just show a quick one there.
You see what we're talking about. That is a strength. That is what he's lived and breathed for years. And we're like, there's no point in me going to learn once someone has learned for 7, 8, 9 years, because I just want to be able to have that knowledge in that space. Now, look at this thing now. If you start talking now, you start drawing some line, you would think it's my daughters, or you would think it's their children that are, okay, you draw a line now, you draw some line now, and it will make sense to him. You say when Kiniko touch base, and Kiniko cop and undo, and when you see cop and undo, and see cop and undo, Kiniko is ready to Kiniko. The only cop and undo me I understand is my coffee. Cop and undo. But there is a way they will look at this seemingly graph, and they will be able to make sense of what happened, what is happening, and what is most likely to happen. And for me, that is a brilliant work of art. Your ability to read patterns and say, yeah, started. I don't even know where all those things is dropping down. Only God knows how they know these things. That is a specialty amongst other things. Me, I don't try to do that. And our God, the one that's military man, that he can look through a sniper hole and shoot somebody. When it comes to numbers, when you say numbers, forget it. It will look at something now and tell you that number you're talking about is not possible. He will start telling you FDV, the market cap is not this thing. When it gets to this thing, it's not realistic and all of that. To me, it doesn't make sense. Me, I don't get myself involved. Talk numbers and you have confused me. My own is, what I like to tell the story.
The FA, the fundamental
story. Fundamental.
The man himself.
It's the story me I like. I'm a storyteller. So I will look at the story that is brewing. It's where the story is going. And I'll just say, I think, when we give it out now, he picks the numbers and said, okay, based on the numbers, this is possible. Like last week, we were talking about something, and he said something that Kiniko, when Kiniko is going to do, Kiniko is going to do. And voila, the next day, when we woke up, we saw that those things. I was like, yeah, an oracle now. Is this not what we're doing? Are you the spirits and mediums? So we put all the strengths together, and we saw that together we are so strong. Honestly, and gentlemen, we just been, to be realistic, I think we've gotten 80 to 90% of our calls. We've got them. It's been accurate.
No, I mean, I think not to cut you short, but what a joy it is. I've known Coach Mo for quite a long time. Before he became this international man that I struggle to get hold of him these days. Coach Mo, we share videos and photos sometime later on. We've been together, but now Coach Mo is very, very difficult to get hold of him. Obviously, that is the growth. That is what he is now in the international man. Everywhere in the Middle East, in Americas, in Africa, everywhere in Asia, is well sought after. Our very own Dr. Olumayowa Sam Olusoji, my brother, the man that I love.
The official man himself.
The man. When we say the man in this group, you know what we're talking about. For us, you can come and do everything, but if we refer you to the man, then you are in trouble. So you better behave yourself.
and when he's saying we've been all our calls have been right, he means all of these calls that he's given us,
right.
He has been telling us has been spot on.
This is where Itai was going to.
This man told us about Athena before I even knew what Athena was.
Where do we start from? Because for me, I'm talking about 2014, when by divine arrangement, this man and my family lived in the same community, and then getting to know them very well in 2016, and then the journey started and all of that. Wow! If you know a man, if you're talking about a man that's hungry for knowledge, and a man that has the capacity, sometimes I ask, Coach, how do you do all of these things? Because some of us, the little we have alone, we are not able to get into the depth. But this man has the capacity to take to so, like, before you start digesting something, he's already moved on long time and gone. So what a blessing it's been. And I'm going back even into 2018, 2019, when we started talking about investment and all of that. Put crypto aside, the things that Coach Mo started talking about in 2019. I decided long ago that I'll be investing in saving and investing. So it's been my life, and I've built by God's grace. Well, but if I listened to Coach Mo and just acted, when Coach Mo started talking about Palantir, I'm talking about it would have. I mean, talking about years ago, and then. When it comes to crypto, that's even, a few days ago, it's going to, guys, the market is we're going to see a flash within 48 hours. And how it happened. And I'm like, how do you do all of this? And some of the investment me and myself and him directly, we've gone into, and the things, and, some things, obviously from his, the information, a lot of information that he consumes and is able to make, obviously, analysis and deductions and all of that. But there are things that you see that he's generating from inside. He's taking time and saying, this is how the world and the market is going to go. And I mean, having been with Coach Mo, so it got to a point I said, Coach Mo, all you do is that you speak and I act on it. You tell us where we should go and I bring the funds, and we do. That I coined the name and gave to Coach Mo. And that name is Criffet, which is my crypto prophet. So when I call you Criffet, that's what I mean, my crypto prophet. So Coach Mo, it's been a journey. But if I'm to summarize everything, I've learned to just do when it comes to finance, do what you say, and I just do. I just want you to say it, and I do, and then we made the profit. But my brother, the Blue Investor, I tried to some years ago. I tried to go on his course, and I started the course, and I said, no, let me put this one because people naturally. I'm like, what? Man, let's speak English. What are you talking about? Candle. The candle goes there, and there's a cup, and there's this, and there's that, and then these men, when they speak, and then you don't act. And before you know, and it's gone. Like, how do you do all of this? I'm just a numbers person. I'm able to just check the numbers, and as an accountant, go into the details and make sure that we stay compliant and stay legal, in all that we do and comply. And so I'm looking forward. There's a lot to talk about. I mean, starting from 2019, when, crypto, and we started, what is crypto and all of this, and started talking about it. And then 2020, and how, I remember one day it was in June, it must have been June 2021, when, was it June or June 2021 of them, when, it got to a point, I had to go to my brother Sam, just to sit down and see where, just to make sure that we are both okay, basically. Because those were the days where, you put 30,000 pounds into it and you think you bought a dip and expecting that in a few months, a couple of days, like the dip, how crypto rebounds. And then within 3 days, the 30,000 pounds got come to 10,000 pounds. And then you buy the dip again. And then, and then it goes down again. And then it gets to a point, no, let's make sure that we are okay. That interesting. I'm so grateful in all of this that we didn't actually leave the market, but we continued because we were really convinced about what we were doing, and survived it. In that, even throughout the bear, we're still in the market, and we continue to invest and save and invest and do it. And the knowledge, the getting of knowledge. There was no way we were going to learn what we've learned without going through all of those things. And I think that's going to be a real asset to people who are going to be listening to us, because we go through some of these personal examples, and some of them were very, very harsh. Some of them were really the things we did right, the things we didn't do so right, but the things that we did right, which allowed us to continue to be sane and sound, to keep our families, to look after our families, because all of us are fathers, all of us are husbands, and all of us are given to the work of the Lord. And the things we did in, to make sure that mentally we could go to bed and sleep and not just wake up one day and think, no, I've had enough. And I think it's going to be priceless. It's going to be something that you can't even put a price on it here.
Thank you so much, Ogamani. You know, it's amazing. I remember we had a discussion, and this was what we decided. We are like, number one, our home is going to be completely there. Once we have a roof over our head,
that's right.
Once we can put food on the table,
that's right.
Separated those two, and the rest we started throwing into crypto. It was a case whereby it was not. We were looking into stocks every now and then, but we identified something that the future is definitely disruptive technology. Remember all the subscriptions we paid for? When you ask people now to come and pay for a course or something, people will say, we've paid for thousands of dollars, we've invested in what? In subscriptions. We've invested this. If we think this person is someone who's got the knowledge, we've invested there. We say this one, you know, at every point in time, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, places we subscribe to where we're learning.
That's
so
right.
we have things that is feeding us, and then we are gregarious ourselves at the same time. I don't know how Blue Investor does it. I don't understand that thing, you know. And one thing about me is I quickly understand when not to put my nose into things, and that is how I'm able to get a depth. I stick things. I can trust people who are best at what they do. I leave it to them completely. There are some things Ogamani knows when it comes to anything finance, when it comes to anything accounting, numbers, things like that. He'll be asking me, hey, what do I think? I'm wondering what he's expecting me to say. Just bring me the paper. Where do I sign? You know, I'll ask the Blue Investor, tell us what is the number looking like at the back, because that is their strength. And trust me, without those things, there is no way that fundamental analysis would work, because everything is driven by numbers. Fundamental analysis is very fleeting, though you might think you get it, but when you see how the market is playing out in real life, it's amazing. So we didn't just stumble upon this. We've paid school fees.
That's right. Oh, yes.
The school fees we have paid, honestly. Today I was thinking, like, if my wife actually knew the depth of the school fees we have paid, they have an idea. But if they knew the depth of the number, I don't think they'll be able to sleep.
No.
And and you know, God has sustained us, and I think we have carried ourselves together so long. And to me, that is the strength of what gives me the balance, is knowing that, you know, when I go to come to you guys, you are my trusted. That word is very important, because there's so many people on the internet. Everybody now is a financial thing on Twitter.
Oh, yes. 2
years ago, you know, where were they 2 years ago? You know, so for me, people who have been consistently on that frequency. And what is the whole point of this? The whole point of this is to make sure that we don't ever have to think or worry about money anymore.
That's right.
To make sure, you know, to me, I missed the .com bubble, whatever they call it, the Amazon age, in 1999. I missed it. I missed it big time.
I was in the village, so for me, it wasn't missing it. So I don't even know what you're talking about.
Maybe that's now we only read about it now in books and in stories. People say, "Oh, it was like this, it was like that." They were like, "I was kicking ball in Africa." No idea.
Hopefully, there was no electricity, Coach Mo, where I was.
It was so painful, you know. And this time around, in 10 years, 15 years time, we don't want our children looking at us and say, "Daddy, well, going by your age and what is happening in the world, where were you when your mates?"
I've asked that question to of some people, maybe not directly, but I'm thinking, given your age, you should have been. And then the fact that you were educated, you could read, you had a master's degree. So what were you?
You had the internet, so it wasn't like those days when there was no internet. You had access to that information. See, like it or not, your children, directly, indirectly, they will question you.
That's right.
My favorite book says something. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
That's right.
And the inheritance, they are in different phases. But see, one of the inheritance you can leave is to change your family tree. Give them something to build on.
That's right.
Many of us start from ground zero.
No. If it was ground zero, it would have been good. Sam, if I started on ground zero, I would have gone far gone. Even some of us, even till today, you know, sub-zero is negative, isn't it? You know, when you're paying bills of generations before you, and some of us, we've had to develop and build that capacity to continue to do that without too much, you know, impact on what we are building also for ourselves and for the generations ahead of us. So it hasn't even stopped, and that's the thing. And I think for me, the passion really is to show, because to show people that no matter your background, where you're coming from, where you're starting at, it is not rocket science. If you listen to us and really pay attention, open your heart to learn, or have an open mind, we want to be real with you. My other name, which you can't see now, is Authentic Man. I don't like fake stuff at all. I want reality, so that you know exactly that you are dealing with human beings. I'm not an AI bot, or I'm not a bot somewhere. You guys know those things, but we are real people. We want to show you that this can be done, because yes, you may have come from somewhere, and when we get into further conversations, which maybe will draw some of these things from us to you, you will see that it's been a journey, but it's been very interesting, and I think I've enjoyed it. The fact that some of us, we have seen that we can come from like sub-zero and then build to a point that even in our mid age, like even that young age, if we were to do nothing at all, we'll be very comfortable. And this is what we want to show people. This is really what we want to show people. It's come at a cost. A lot of things, like I said, I learned about Bitcoin. I shouldn't use it with I heard about Bitcoin back in 2012. Somebody came to me and then when I was in the army, can you imagine? A lady from Jamaica came to me and it was with this Jamaican accent. I'm a Ghanaian. I'm thinking, what is the thing? When you buy, African man, that time you buy, you must hold what you're buying. And you're telling me, give your money, and then where is the thing that I've bought? Something on computer. What are you talking about? And I'm thinking that time I could have bought like 100. Maybe even thousand Bitcoin I could have, and obviously the knowledge wasn't there, the understanding wasn't there, and then definitely wasn't there. And I thank God that in all of this, the knowledge of the Holy Book helped us to keep our lives in a way that we didn't destroy ourselves, but we are here to give information to you as well. So it's been a journey, and a journey of learning, and we continue to learn. But and I must say this: if there are two people that I respect in terms of like one man that I respect when it comes to fundamental, like when it comes to stock picking, it comes to crypto, it comes to those things. Sam, you are such a great asset, and you are a man I've known personally, physically, I've lived with, and I've eaten. I've shown you the better jollof rice, the one that's made in Ghana.
There we go.
And you yourself have voted for it.
Okay. And listeners, let me tell you, we have a Zimbabwe, we have a Ghanaian, we have a Nigerian. So we
choose one.
A proper wet balanced African here.
Choose the side, and then when they start voting, Ghana will win. Who knows?
Is this thing you're going with, or is it Ghanaian, or is it Nigerian? Jollof rice. You know that long debate about. Okay, don't let me talk. Continue.
They never end in war.
No, but you know how I got it settled. I asked my wife, is like, said, honey, let's just cook jollof rice and let's invite Uncle Sam to eat, and then let's see what Uncle Sam will say after that. After that, ask him where he had his favorite lunch.
That one, I've got to say, his wife makes like this special sauce. His wife makes. One of the things I love is I'm a foodie. Basically, I love good food, and I have very few pleasures. A good meal with a good company is one of them.
I miss that.
And one of the places I enjoy eating most, the three of us, we've been out several times to have dinners and all of that. But when we come together, his wife, she makes this sauce like this. She'll not put sardine and she'll not put boiled egg into it. I can eat
prawns.
Anything and prawns. So that one, I give it to him 100%.
Now, I took photos. If you say anything that is not true, I'll just show. Let the picture speak and the videos.
We will memory lanes. We will go down memory lanes. To know that.
So we have it on record, Coach Mo. So you've accepted that Ghanaian jollof is the best.
See, this is the problem. You must separate context. This is one thing.
Here comes the narrative now. Here comes the narrative.
This is the narrative there. Layer 1 and layer 2 are different things. Layer 0 is different. Let us put them apart. Jollof rice, no. But there is a sauce that she makes. That sauce is 100%. I will give that
so
one.
You're still not convinced about jollof rice? Don't worry, I'll invite you.
I have not. The jollof rice is okay. It's good. But I'm not admitting it is better. No way.
Okay.
No way. I'm not going to admit that one.
Well, you can admit off camera. I know you're on camera, and you know Nigeria is like 10 times the size of Ghana. So if you admit, you're in trouble. So I'll allow you.
Okay. See how they're trying to roll me. It cannot work. And see, this is the strength of our bond, and it's just being able to be men again, being able to be leaders again. Don't worry about the man in the yellow. I told you he's cooking. He has the food on the fire. That his eyes is on. So half of us here today.
Well, they will know later what was cooking. What's cooking there?
The next session we have, you will see him in his full expression. So when you see him this quiet, they always say that the quiet ones are the most dangerous ones, because you will never understand the depth of their knowledge. You always pretend as if, just leave us. But when I'll still say it, when it comes to technical analysis,
man,
I don't know.
Hats off for you, man. I'm a military man. When I say hats off for you, I mean it. I mean,
we are civilian. I would have said air help for you, but there's no hair there. So I would say thumbs up. You are doing well.
You are doing well.
We're trying, sir. I wanted to also ask, Ogamani, when you came up with your story that you're just telling about how you found out about Bitcoin as well. Coach Mo, what was your first encounter with the financial markets, whether that's investing stocks and then maybe also crypto, just out of interest? That would be an interesting story to know.
That's a good question. I've always loved knowledge, and I've not always been great with when you say money. I've always tell me something, I'll pay the price. I was never that kind of person. I learned to negotiate and to look for deals from Ogamani here. I will tell anywhere I go. He's the one who taught me how to look for bargain, how to get premium at a reasonable price and all of that. So I've always loved knowledge, and I always approach life from, I know the least of anything or any group I'm in. So I'm like a foam. I always absorb. I absorb more than I give out. So my first encounter would be, I think it was probably 2000. It was probably a few years after we moved to Ogamani.
Okay.
I've dabbled into the stock market maybe, I think about 2000 but it was Nigerian stock market. I bought some, it's called one of those stock banks now. I bought their stocks. So 2000, that was when I think personally I bought my first stocks. I bought in Zenith and GTB. No, actually, I bought it a few years before 2001. So we had some random money that my dad gave us.
So you had your .com bubble, the Nigeria one.
No, that one, you see, that was not, it was just coincidence and happenstance. I would have loved to take credit, but no, one thing I won't lie to myself, it was just a case of, okay, they gave us this money, what should I do with it? Okay, I never like to lack money. So I was like, okay, let me just put it, at least it's a gift. Whatever happens to it, I just put the money there. There are four of us, the third born as well said, okay, I can put his money where I put my money. And I just put it there, and I just left it. And I didn't understand the process, the procedure. It was almost 10 years later. That was when I actually liquidated that particular funds. And the growth of it was crazy. But you know when you grew up with this...
Do you remember what the percentage was?
It was crazy. It was 25...
Interesting.
It was 25,000 naira that we invested. We cashed out over 1 million naira.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah. We invested 25,000 in less than 9 years. We cashed out 1 million.
That's 400%.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's actually...
The numbers, guys, just come through with the numbers. That's what again, sir?
All of us, we are saying numbers. He's already saying...
No, I'm talking about 4,000%. That's
crazy.
Yeah, that's 10x times 4.
Yeah.
That's 40x. Wow. So you're talking about 4,000. That's a lot. Sam, let me come on there. You see, I'm tired eating, and that's a very, very good question. My first one, I did the Bachelor of Commerce degree back in Ghana, my bachelor's degree. And then obviously, studying accounting and finance, okay, you study about shares and all of those things and shareholding. And then when the opportunity opened up for me to travel abroad, I had got some money. I got scholarship at university, so I saved some money and all of that. And I said, okay, you know what? Let me put it into something. And Sam, I bought there was a company that was doing an IPO, initial public offer, and I bought that. It was really hyped, And I said, okay, you know what? Because I was born into this poverty that immediately I was born. I think even the baby self said that, no, you must do something about this situation. The way you found this life, something must change. So I always wanted to, multiply money, do something more to see how I can make money work for me. And then I bought this share, Item Drugs then. And at the time, it was equivalent of $600. I realized that it was around about that. And then put the money into the shares, into that stock, and then I traveled abroad. Recently, a few years ago, I tried to actually sell that share to try and liquidate it. Unfortunately, I was told that the company had been taken over by another company, many things. Even a colleague of mine from university did everything he could possibly do. And it became nothing. I didn't get anything from it. So that's something that I had to. I think at the time when I was trying to liquidate it, the cost of doing that and the whole process, the guy said, no, it's not worth it because it's basically gone as dust. And that was difficult. That was a very, very difficult experience. But when I moved to the UK, I wasn't so much into the stock market, but I know definitely around about 2009, 2010, part of me is more of I love numbers. So I doubled into Forex trading. Anytime I see numbers and I see graphs and all those things, it's like something in me that says, this is what you should have done. So I nearly got a job with the Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. And the only reason that, I didn't pursue that road, that it was actually investment banker, was because of how much toll it was going to take on me and my family. I'm such a family person. I mean, you guys know that nothing comes between me and my wife and children. And so that thing is there, still within me now. Today, I see those things and the stock market and numbers and all of those. And I'm like, okay, I want to do this. I want this, what I want to do. So I went into forex trading and lost a lot of money. You know, everybody will tell you, oh, Forex, you never listen to all that. I went and tried a few things and I lost a lot of money. And then I went into CFD also with 212 trading. I think it must be 20. Yeah, Itoro was one of them. And then that one also, even on gold, you would do all of those. And there were things that I was just doing, but I didn't actually understand it at all. So it's just basically, I don't know what the word is like. It's better. I don't know, but it's just, you're doing it, but you want to make money, but you don't understand it. And that's one of the things that we've learned. I've learned it the hard way, and Sam taught me this, that if you don't understand it, don't put your money there. Why put your money into anything that you don't understand? And what a timeless, Sam, I can't pay you enough for some of the things that I've learned from you. So that would have been sometime, 2013, 2014, 2015. And then when all that money goes down like that, then you come out of the market. But I had heard of Bitcoin in 2012. I came out of the market, and then I met this man. Everything, like myself and Sam, started working in London together. Those are going to be contracting with as freelancers and all of that. And every time this guy is reading, from this meeting to that meeting, and it's just book reviews. It's good to be among the right people. And I realized that actually one of the things that I was not doing enough was reading. I wasn't reading enough, because whatever you want to build, knowledge should be the foundation. It should be. It is the foundation upon which you build. And then I met this man, and every day he was just reading and reading and reading. When you work with someone for that long, it will rub off you. And then got a time, me and him were asking ourselves questions. So which book are you reading, all that? And I started reading all that. And
you forgot something, that a question you asked me before COVID. We were in a place in London.
Oh, I didn't go into that one.
It's a place in London. We stayed in, so we were in that, because we work in London. We go to London Monday to Friday. We come on over the weekend. We don't have time to wake up for breakfast, because 5 a.m. So we don't eat breakfast. So we have lunch there, but we make sure our dinner is property. So
our dinner was a celebration. Sam taught me that also.
I told him meal is an experience.
Our dinner, and Sam, let me come in here. Our dinner, the way Sam made it, we had, how we wish we could bring. Well, we'll bring those memories back. It was like we lived in this accommodation where it's like we lived in accommodation together. But then we had this kitchen built and all of that, and then we'll go out with fresh prawns and fish and we'll just go and collect them. And Sam knew how to make this white sauce with these things, all of these vegetables. Man, it was just And by the time the food is made and it's served, and then he had this tradition where he would just take a glass of water, and then he would just take his time, check his phone, drink some water, and then let the food cool down and all of that. And guess what? One day we had a very good meal, and I was there when it was an inward witness. It was a word given to me directly, and it was a question. Sam, the Lord will have me say to you that, what would you do if you had £100,000? And basically, prepare yourself for that. If you had that cash, what would you do? And we'll go into some of these stories, but it's good to work with people who are really spiritually also minded, because life is from there also. And how that in the next couple of weeks that followed after, how opportunities opened up like that, and how the money quickly came. It's a time that I never forget at all. I never forget. I think we're going to be playing a lot of these things to remind ourselves where we have come.
I won't forget that conversation at all.
Because those were days that were really hard. I mean, those days, money was, but boom, all of a sudden it came. And the instruction was that really prepare yourself, because you're going to start going there. But sorry, I know, that now, when such inspiration comes, going to be, what are you going to do with 100 million pounds?
We're already planning for that now.
So please plan for us. What are you going to do with 100 million pounds? Because that's where we are going now.
We're already preparing for that now, because it's it's so profound. When still going back to your question, I'm trying to pinpoint, because I know that shortly after that time I came across blockchain somehow, but this was not from the knowledge depth of it, but the shallow knowledge of, okay, this is happening. Because I will not forget, I went to Reverend Theo's house for something, and then at that point, Binance was $2.
Please don't say that. The people in the comments will be crying.
If we go to these things, people will know where we come from.
For those of you who are not aware, Binance BNB right now is at $853. So when this guy says to the $2, this was
no. We have witnessed a week Binance going up like this. We have witnessed that, and then some knew that. Some knew that is what's going to happen. That's the thing. That's what makes it sad. Sometimes,
We started from there. But one thing there is, don't regret any of the things that happened, because we wouldn't have the knowledge we have if we didn't make any mistakes.
No.
I tell people, crypto does not make you money overnight. 9 out of 10 times, if you rush in crypto, you will lose money. See, when you go on the internet, you will see one person who was lucky to have bought a meme coin at a price, and the meme coin shot there, and everybody else is taking that screenshot and saying they, but no, those are just their outliers. Most people have lost more money because they're expecting crypto to actually be a quick get money scheme. It is not. And one of the things is we set like right now, our target is 2030. So everything happening in the market right now, we are not even, our target is 2030. And that is the way for you to position, because look at Ethereum. Ethereum has been sleeping for 4 years. Personally, I have written off Ethereum.
I had written it off as well, completely.
And the reason is because, but do you know one thing there is, because we are constantly learning and we are not, we don't stick to a position. I don't have that shame. If I have a thesis, if it happens to be wrong, I will change my thesis quickly. I'm not too proud to acknowledge a change in position. Yeah. And that is how we have come from, I remember then, and then the first cycle of Solana, that time, the first cycle of, not this one, no, the proper first Solana, a card that doesn't have engine. Those days when they just ship Solana without engine, which maybe just 3 computers running the whole Solana. Those days we got it in around $8, $9. And we rode that wave. We rode that wave to around $220. Solana is one of the few ones that I say, yes, we cashed out something, and before, and when you cash out and then you're now using that money to buy the dip. And I
think this is where everything is actually, it's not about, I've come to understand and appreciate that with that knowledge, if you quickly and in a rush you make money, in a rush and quickly you lose the money. Well, because there is a level of knowledge and understanding needed to be able to retain and to grow what you make. And that is what, if you come to crypto and quickly you make that money, you will not be able to get, because it will just be all of those friends and that the hype, and then you're going, and basically it gets to a time you don't even understand what's going on. Because, for instance, in Sam and I went into crypto, I would say we started really putting money into it seriously from 2020. And then we were just checking. Those are times when, but I'll be there in my room. I used to be when I didn't have 5 children like I have today. You have that free time and really think, and then you receive some things from the inside of you. And I would say, oh, Sam, this is the project. Let's look into it. And that's what Sam and I we used to do. And I would say, this is the project. Oh, Doggun. We were part of the doggy army.
You were part of the doggy army.
Yeah, he knows it. Because one day, 300 pounds, we just tend to treat that 100 pounds. Just one day, doses. And we're part of, you will wake up and then you will sense that this is how things are going to move. No technical, and we were not doing it, but it was like we sort of looked at the coins and we knew, it's your turn. Or something inside. Well, I remember Binance, we went and spoke. There's this, I must have been Solana, where we spoke, we said, the way Ethereum did and we missed it, Solana is going to go like that. And then that's why he said we cashed it. We knew exactly. And then Binance also like that, and all of them going that way. But I think definitely if there's anything at all that I'm proud of, it is this, that when things have not gone the way we expected them, let me use the direct word, when we have failed in some of those things, we did not just, sometimes we hold on to failure for too long that we forget about what is happening in front of us. Some is got this energy like my energy. If it didn't go well, what can we learn from it? We pick ourselves and we are moving forward again. And that helped us, because some of the things that, hey, I'm telling you, if you at one point you had in your portfolio over 200,000, and then you look at that and then you even were buying every time, but you got to a time you were just checking and it was not up to 40,000, you will be, and I'm not talking about serious cash, serious cash. But the thing is that we stayed in and we have paid the fees. And sometimes the fees we pay in investment is the volatility that we endure, just to make sure that you are not out of the market completely. Yeah. And over the last 2-3 years, because we were still, in the market, our skin was there. Some of them that I've done, if you go back in the last few years, have done multiple exits. At least we've been in them, and they're helping us to catch up and to hopefully get into the greens.
But what about you, Itai? What is your story? Because you've always been in the numbers, in those, because you are the ones that will be able to see when the whales are moving in, how the whales are moving, tracking all the whales movement and all of that.
Yeah. So for me, the reason I was asking this question, gentlemen, is because what I found is when you come into these things, it's almost like a voice calling you to come into it. And some people have had the same, like you said, Ogameni, that you first heard about it in 2012. Imagine when you heard about it in 2012, for some reason, you did not keep it. You just kept moving, right? But then when you heard it again, later on, now it was now enough. Whatever happened during that time, you are inspired to do. You know, Coach Mo talks about know, be, do. In that point, you were like, you know what, let me do. And with yourself as well, you've explained, Coach Mo, that when you now did it with when Solana was at Binance was at $2, and then Solana you now acted and got in $8, $9. I think even low. I think when I spoke to you before, you even got in at like $5 or something, right? For me, I've got a similar story. I think my first encounter with the financial markets in general, all of them, was when I moved to this country here in 2017. And in 2017, Bitcoin, I remember seeing Bitcoin at around 3,000. I don't know if it's $3,000 or 3,000 pounds. And I put like 30 pounds, bought like 0.01. Now 0.01, you're talking at least 3,000, or I mean at least 1,000 or something plus. But I remember watching it in May go from that 3,000 to, by the time we got to August, like now, we're talking about right now, we're in summer, crypto summer now. By the time it got to August, it was at around 5,000, 6,000. Then there was the halving, the Bitcoin halving. And people took that's when Bitcoin Cash came into existence. And people took that Bitcoin Cash and sold it like they've gotten dividends. And still, Bitcoin continued to go from that 5,000 all the way to 20,000. And for me, in all of that, I was watching it, but I just come, so I don't have a lot of income or money saved aside to go in, but I'm just watching as this whole game is playing out. And I think towards the end of the year 2017 was when I was able to put down a little on XRP, because XRP got listed on one of the smaller exchanges, and I was able to just do an arbitrage where I bought it somewhere where it was still being listed for like 3 cents, and it came on this platform. When it came on the platform inside of for 3 cents, I bought it at 3 cents, just shot up to like 30 cents. And from like a 200 pounds I put down, had like 2,000, took my wife to dinner. It was around the birthday time, took her to dinner, bought her some nice jewelry. You know, I was very proud of myself. But from that moment, it was for me, when I think about it, it lights me up, because I think that was the first time I had a realization that you can make money in the world that someone is going to spend a month to generate, trading time for money, and you can make that same amount of money by exchanging money for money, by leveraging the money markets. You're not trading 8 hours of your day, but perhaps 3-4 hours that you're focused on a particular market, and from there extract value. So that was my first encounter. Of course, after that, Bitcoin then tumbled from 20,000, and then it was a whole learning experience as well. We've all had major losses. We've paid big thousands in tuition fees, because from there we were buying the dip. Because when it came from 20,000, it dropped. You say, oh, okay, it's dip. It's going to go. People are saying it's going to go to 1 million. So now this is the time to buy. You buy, it goes lower, and then it goes lower. But bear in mind, I think Ogamani, like what you're saying, back in that time, I did not even know what I was doing. It was just you just see numbers are moving, and someone has just done this. So you try, you buy something, you sell it, you see if there's an extra $50 there. Is this real? Then you do it again, then you see, Then after the market really crashed is when I went now to the drawing board to actually learn, and where I actually developed the skill of technical analysis, because it was in that time that I then realized that I have to approach this thing with some level of skill, some level of professionality. That's when I went into the forex that you talked about, Ogamani, and lost again thousands upon thousands. My wife suffered. She would take the money that we've just all the money from wife and say, okay, don't worry, this time I know what I'm doing. This time
God bless our wives, man. Honestly,
that's it. and then but I mean, looking back at it, like the lessons, and this is the beautiful thing now, when you see people that are coming in, if anybody ends up watching this and you are coming into the financial market space, or you've got interest in investing in general, financial education, one of the biggest things is to try to make sure that you invest in learning before you try to rush to earn. Because whenever you try to rush to get to the earning before you've done the learning stage, trust me, that rush you're going to pay a tuition there, which you were supposed to have paid in learning. So you end up learning through experience. But you could be smarter and learn from someone who's had their own mistakes. They've already had millions of them. Like now, if you talk to Coach Mo, he will tell you when it's like this. Like he told us 3-4 days ago, he told us the market is gonna come crumble. I don't know what Urim and Turim was looking at, what Crystal Boy, I don't know what he was looking at, but he came to us and said, look, 2-3 days, the market is going to do this. But he's now coming from a well-advantaged point, well-informed, with a lot of almost, not muscle memory, but like almost a subconscious knowing of reading certain cues, picking up the patterns. And even sometimes, I'm sure some of the times, you might not even know why you're saying it at that point. But it's now a combination. You've seen that, but also there's something inside of you witnessing, saying, no, this is about to happen.
That's right.
And then you move like that. So that was my experience. It's been an interesting one. And one of the other follow-up questions I was going to bring to you, gentlemen, is about the biggest gain you've seen, or the biggest potential gain that you've lost. Well, at least you could have, because some of these things will help anybody listening to have an understanding of how to approach when you're approaching this entire subject, that this is part of the game. It is part of the game. If you've not yet experienced it, if you happen to be lucky and you did it, heads off to you for now. But you're better off if you learn it at these early stages, because if you make a $10,000 loss now, it's better than those. There's some people who've made $1 million, 10 million, and then after that they went in and then lost the 10 million because they had not learned the stage in the earlier stages. So I don't know what has been like your biggest gain or biggest loss. Like I will share my own, but later, like something you could have either put money in and you didn't sell in time, or you sold too early, or you didn't put in the money early enough.
How about? I'm just going to say this. How about? So we've been on this, I don't know how they're going to do this, but we've been on it for an hour now. So how about we make it such that the next recording is going to be something. We start with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that. The next recording.
For them, because I don't know whether it's buying and selling too early or buying and selling too late, or thinking you are investing but you're being scammed. And there's some of the things, if I tell you guys, you probably will just, you probably will say, adios to me.
Dodgy cycle. I have 500 pounds in Shiba. I took the money out from Shiba.
Okay.
Took the money from Shiba.
You're going to give us stress.
Okay,
God.
I start, honestly. So
you took the money from Shiba.
Oh, honestly, Ogamani, we stood in front of your house that night. I will never forget. We finished talking. We talked till like 10, 11 a.m.
I'm so happy for the audience of this recording, because the knowledge, the experience that we are just bringing, everything so raw, and what they stand to gain and to learn from this. If there's anything that even myself I've learned from this recording tonight, guys, is learning before earning, and it takes me back to the message that I got for us. What would you do if you are giving £100,000 today? And I think that was a divine calling to learning. So learn and prepare yourself for it. So that because I think I said that later, that when you get the money, it's not that the money is in your hand that you're thinking about what you're going to do, because money is like that. If it is in your hand and you've not already planned where it's going, and sometimes you haven't systemized it so that it comes and it goes into where you want to go, trust me, in the heat of it, you're gonna make decisions that really you're gonna look stupid. Why did I do this? Why did I do that? So I think I've gotten something really from this recording, and I'm sure people are going to really be blessed by it, that we need to make sure we get that information, that knowledge. We need to learn before we think about starting to earn, because in the earn, we need to hold on to what we got. As much knowledge will help you to reduce your loss as much as possible, while at the same time giving you the, expanding your potential to even give you a great chance to make more money with the money that you
Next week is going to be amazing. Today, we've just had to give you this today to make sure we start. And there's one question that all of you are thinking. If you think you are too late, I will tell you, whenever your morning comes is your dawn. Whenever your dawn comes is your morning, whichever way they say it. The answer to that quick one there is, the answer is no. You are even still early. We'll talk about that next week. Let me share something I would leave everybody with. And I'm going to share this screen. Let me see if the screen allows me to share. What does it allow me to do? Let me see if it allows me to pick that. Let me pick Windows. Awesome. Now, can we all see what I'm sharing right now?
Yes.
And we will digest this next week. See, one thing that you have to understand there is, real estate is not where the wealthy have their wealth in. Don't let anybody fool you.
Yeah.
This is the fresh data from Bloomberg, and the source is actually Federal Reserve. And this is the wealth assets, what the super rich, the top 0.1%, how they hold their wealth. The 99 to 99.9. Now, the bottom 50%, that means the rest of the world. That is where they are. We will start with this next week. And the reason why I want you to start with this next week there is, we want to lay the foundation right for you to understand, why are we talking crypto at all? Why are we talking disruptive technology? Why are we so keen? Why are we so sure about this? We're not saying all of us here, we own our homes by God's grace. We're not saying don't do that. But if you want to build wealth based on knowledge, not guessing game. I tell people when they say the greatest wealth creating machine until last 16 years ago is the stock market.
That's right.
But people will argue, buy house, buy house. Okay. I say, I'm already talking so much. So thank you, gentlemen. I'm actually looking forward to next week. Next week, we will try and have a little bit more structure around, let's answer these key areas, because I like the way, our blue investor, whose eyes is still on the boiling water on the cooker, so that's why we really need to round up so that his heart doesn't come out of his mouth. So, gentlemen, it's been great to do this. It's been great to start this. Thank you so, so much. I will, hand over to you for your final words. But my final words to everybody there is, you are blessed to be alive at this point in time. You are blessed to encounter us at this point in time. And no, we are not here to sell you any products. We are all coaches. We have all our academies and all of that. We are not soliciting like, okay, are we trying to coerce you into buying a product? If you buy a product, fine. If you don't buy a product, thank God for that. But this is purely from the perspective of we telling you, this is the discussions we have in our secret place, and we're bringing out our secret discussion to the public place so that you can leverage and benefit from our experiences and take from the tips we're sharing amongst ourselves. Whatever we say is not financial advice. These are three men, three gentlemen, three friends, three brothers having a conversation and giving you the chance to listen in. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'll hand over to you.
I'll just say thank you so much again for doing this, gentlemen. I am very, very honored to be a part of this. I will forever, I'm probably the first viewer, though I'm participating as a on the panel, but I'm the first viewer of this because I believe I've got a lot to learn from you two gentlemen. And anybody else who's going to chime in, I would say take this this opportunity very seriously, because it's an opportunity to be a fly on the wall of people who have got experiences they're bringing that you can leverage. And that's all you need sometimes to leapfrog the 10 years that you've lost or the 5 years that others have gone ahead of you in different industries. It's about you tapping into that skill set, that knowledge set that others have been able to cultivate over the years. And definitely you're in the right space. Next session, make sure you do jump into it, because I can't wait to pull out from these gentlemen when they're talking about these experiences that they've had. I know it's going to be something special.
Thank you so much. It's been very beautiful, and it's great to be here. I think it's very timely, and I think it's just generous on your part, gentlemen. I know you guys, I pay to be in your meetings and to do this free and to give it some of us late in the night, and we just do this recording for the benefit of people, because I know we're all very, very passionate about, educating the masses so that they can, hold their lives together. Money touches on almost every aspect of life. And that's why we want you to understand it. When I was selling my shares and I tried and I couldn't sell it, all because of those institutions and systems. Today, at the touch of a button on your phone, you are already in the stock market. It's such a beautiful time to be alive today. And the truth is that we are also family men. So there are many excuses people give themselves why they don't lend it, they don't do that. We will bring our whole life to you. You'll see how some of us, like somebody like Coach Mo, me, I'm thinking, how is he doing all of this? What if you know what Blue Investor is cooking, that he's been looking around, you will be shocked why and how is he still able to do this, just because we want you to be armed, develop your financial intelligence, and make sure that you make the best financial decisions for yourself, for your family, and for the future of you. So very, very excited about it, and thank you really for being a part of this. It's going to be beautiful. Coach Mo, though, before you go, what are you seeing for this week? I just wanted to hear that. You can cut that off the recording. But
okay, I want to take a screenshot of everybody, so everybody sit properly. I want to take a screenshot of us.
Why not? Let me go and do the makeup. Do we need to do makeup?
Don't worry, do the makeup next week.
Sam, look at my hair. Come on, look at
wow. Ready? 1, 2. Okay, gentlemen, I've taken the screenshot now. I will send it to us. This is what we will use to tell people about that. Okay, your big question is, what am I saying for next week?
No, from now, please, because this week I must have
the market will recover. Okay. I think we're still going to have a Monday flush. I think the flush will run through the Monday, but we are getting nearby where we can see the market's about to move. You can see Ether is back to the 4 or 5. It's about the indicator that I'm actually using is ADA. So for some reason, ADA has come back into my radar, and ADA seems to actually be predicting where the market is heading. I'm not a fan of Cardano, but keep an eye on ADA, on Cardano. Okay. Cardano seems to be front running some things silently that we're not paying attention to. Keep an eye on Cardano. It seems to be telling a story we're not paying attention to. If you look at the timeline from Cardano from 1 hour, 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, 1 year, Cardano is all green, just like a few other things. And it's not that. So for me this week, I think this week is, let's just look at Cardano. I wasn't a fan of it, but Cardano will pull a 5x minimum in the next 12 months.
I'm invested in that. I've been in it for years now.